Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the Mezco 112 Collective 1989 Michael Keaton Batman figure. Now this has been a long time coming. I placed my initial pre-order back in January of 2020. That is 3 years and 3 months ago. Hope this figure does not disappoint. Been a lot of waiting and a lot of hype around this guy. With Michael Keaton reprising his role as Batman for the Flash upcoming, it is a great time to get this figure. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 112 Collective, Pose, Play, Display. We have the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman logo, and it looks fantastic. Batman, DC. Top, 112 Collective. One side, the Batman logo. Other side, same thing. At the back, Batman, the bat symbol, bunch of different display options for this figure. It looks great. The bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode in case that happens to help anybody. So no further ado, let's open it up. And as always, I did get 2 of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, and the other one to keep unopened in my complete Batman-related unopened action figure collection. So let's go ahead and unbox this figure. Here it is, with the plastic wrap still attached on the outside. Then, with the plastic wrap removed. And here's the clamshell containing the figure and the accessories out of the box. Here's the first layer of the clamshell removed, exposing the figure and some of the goodies. Here's the second layer removed, showing you even more accessories. And here's the final layer removed, giving you access to the display stand and more accessories. The whole point of that was just to show you how elaborate Mezco's packaging is. Alright. Now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out, and he comes with a ton of awesome stuff. First of all, we have 2 capes, we have a display stand, we've got a baggie for all his accessories, 3 alternate heads, totaling 4 interchangeable heads, a total of 8 different hands, 4 batarangs, a batarang with rope attached. He's got your spear gun, a hook for the spear gun, a hook with a string for the spear gun, a collapsed spear gun. Then he has the little microphone device to be able to control the Batmobile. He's got a throwing star from Deleted Scene, and the bottom left 2 accessories. I believe one is a glass vial containing his smoke, and then the gray one, I'm not sure, but the only accessory unaccounted for is going to be a timed bomb, although I do not remember him using that in the film. Now before we look at the accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Michael Keaton as Batman from the 1989 film, Batman. I was 5 years old when this movie came out, and it has held a special place in my heart for my entire life. I saw this thing in theaters. This was my live-action Batman growing up, although there have been so many at this point. The accessories are plentiful. The figure looks great so far. So let's take a look at him. Starting with his face here, looks great. The sort of lines going down around his lip area just screams Michael Keaton. The cowl, the tall ears, the sculpted cowl at the top looks great. All the sort of pieces coming down here, the bat symbol, that unique symbol from 1989. Now let's talk about his body. It has, I don't know if it's silicone exactly, I believe it's silicone on top of a super articulated body underneath, and it actually looks great. You may notice this white powder residue on it. Mezco said they put white powder on it so it wouldn't stick to anything in the packaging. From what I'm told, don't use anything chemical to wipe it off. I was told use warm water and a microfiber cloth. That is what I'm going to try here shortly. Utility belt, phenomenal. It really looks pretty good so far, but we're going to have a cape and all kind of other stuff on top of this. Now, the white powder is bothering me. I don't really like it. I don't like having to clean it off, but be careful. I'm going to use a microfiber cloth to be very delicate with this guy, as you just don't want to mess it up. Use a rough paper towel, it might scratch up this sort of rubber or silicone stuff on top of the body. But you know what? So far, so good. He's Batman. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Looks fantastic so far. And here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories. He comes with a ton of stuff. Somehow it all fits into the small utility belt. Let's start off with a display stand. Here's his display stand. It comes in 2 separate pieces. At the bottom, we have the traditional Batman logo, although I'm surprised they didn't use the 1989 version with the gold and sort of glossy look. When you put it together, it's going to look like this. We have the base at the bottom with the Batman symbol. Then we have this post here for the flight stand. The bottom, it can rotate. It's hinged in the middle, hinged near the top, rotation again. Then it has a clamp to hold your figure. Now let's look at this baggie. It's essentially a Ziploc bag. It says 112 Collective. There's a place you could potentially write the figure's name here. It's good to be able to stow all your accessories. Now let's see if we can wipe off or clean off this body. Now Mezco sent out an FAQ to the people that purchased this guy. They said, use water and a microfiber cloth. Do not use a paper towel. Do not use any chemicals to clean them off. And then they warn you about the articulation. Be gentle with it. It's going to be tight and it will loosen up over time. So like I said, you can see his black suit, the rubbery silicone parts. It's got this white sort of residue on it. Almost looks like an old dusty figure. So, here we go. I'm going to take this microfiber cloth, use some warm water, and hope for the best. So I took this guy, wiped him down with the cloth, kind of dried him off. And the residue seems to be gone. He looks a little bit sort of dull. I saw some guy online use Armor All or something similar. He looked shiny, he looked fantastic. But be very concerned what that might do to the outer layer here. So far, so good. Now let's check out his hands. He has a total of 8 of them, 4 right hands and 4 left hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. Here's his next pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands for his smaller accessories. And here's his third pair of hands. Looks like a pair of grabbing hands. They could hold some large accessories maybe, but I don't think that's what they're intended for. And here's his last pair of hands. I believe the right hand is intended to hold a spear gun. And then the left hand is totally open. Now let's look at his heads. He has a total of 4 of them. The first one has a regular expression, and it has a little option on the back for eye articulation. The second one also has a normal expression with no eye articulation. The third one has kind of a smiling expression. And the fourth one is this blooded up battle damage expression from the end of the film. Here's his first head. This one has the normal expression and it has the eye articulation. You can see on the back of the head here, it's got a little sort of switch. And you can turn his eyes from one side to the other. Pretty cool feature there. Here's a second head. This one also has a normal stern expression, but a very smooth back of the head, no articulation. Here's his third head. This one has the smiling expression. And here's his fourth head. This one is bloodied up and battle damaged. Now let's look at his capes. He has 2 of them. One has a wire in it, one's a little more free-flowing. Both the capes kind of have sort of a leathery exterior. This is the one with the bendy wire in it. You can see it's going to be able to take any of the poses you want, flowing in the wind, stretch the cape out, and it has that iconic look when he's gliding down. It's sort of a cloth look on the inside, leathery on the outside. Honestly, I've seen a bunch of people bitch about the cape, but I think this thing looks absolutely awesome. So we have the bendy wire kind here. Then we have the regular cape. This will probably be my cape of choice for the most part, but I definitely see myself getting some awesome use out of that when he's gliding. His cape, made of the same material, just doesn't have those bendy wires inside. Clothish on the inside, leathery on the outside. Here's Batman without the cape. And here he is with his cape on. This is the bendy wire cape. Now, seems a little bit big and bulky, sticking out. Another thing I'm not really fond of is you can see how the cowl sort of sticks up. There's a gap there. That does not look good. Yeah, you can push it down, and that looks pretty nice, but it doesn't stay down like that. It kind of pushes itself back up. And here he is, with the standard cape. Also looks a little bit big and bulky, sticking out to the sides too much. Hoping to adjust this, lay it flat, closer to his body. Does seem to have the same issues with the cowl there, sticking up, large gap. Yeah, I can push it down, but it doesn't seem to want to stay that way by itself. I will say, honestly, not having a lot of luck adjusting the cape. Cape looks awesome, but so far it doesn't really function the way I'd like it to. I'm able to kind of push it inward a little bit, but I would kind of like to make it sit about like this. But every time I fold it down, let go, it just poofs back out. A little too bulky and wide. I don't know, maybe I'm not doing something right. Now the more I mess with it, I just can't get it to do what I want. What I want it to do is just really sort of sit like this on the figure. That would look awesome, but it just keeps poofing back out. That does not look awesome. I mean, just look at that big ass gap between the cowl and his shoulders. It just doesn't look very good there, and the material is very inconsistent between his cowl and the cape. I really just want to push that thing down. Makes it look a little better, but bounces right back up when you let go. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, but I can't get that to be flush. I can't get his cape to sit down on his body. A little frustrating there. It seems like the cape is going to require quite a bit of work. I think when I'm done with this video, I'll take this cape, crease it, how it would look good on the sides, and then take my Batman figure with the cape sort of like that in the back, lay it down, maybe leave him there for a day or two. Once the cape gets used to that, it should stay flush a little better. But for now, this thing is a little bit frustrating. I'm having a little bit more luck with the wired cape, which is not my personal preferred cape. Yeah, I want to use it sometimes, but the cape I want to have on it for the most part is a regular cape. I was able to sort of use the wires, manipulate the rest of the cape. Kind of stays in better than it was before. I do think I can work on the other one over time and make it exactly how I want it to be. Now, this still isn't fixing that large gap between the cowl and the cape. Driving me crazy. Just cannot seem to push the head on all the way. Now inside of here, the cape, there's sort of a plastic ring here. The cape has a plastic ring too, and I feel like it's, I don't know, maybe it's supposed to sort of clip on there a little better, but it just cannot get it to work. Then the head is a strong magnet. I don't know. Very frustrating right now. And I'll be damned. I've tried this so many times. I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and it finally sort of got over. Now I'll pop the head on. Looks a whole lot better. Normally I'd go back and delete something like this, but I'm going to leave it in the video because I guarantee other people are going to have the exact same problems. It does fit on that ring, but my god, it is difficult. It's really going to make you not want to switch capes. And it doesn't totally fix that gap, but boy does it make it better. And I just kept pushing it and twisting it. And you know what? You can actually get it to be flush. Look at that. Looks a whole lot better. So like I said, you've got to really work hard to get the cape around this, I don't know, sort of neck piece that sticks out a little bit. It's not made of the silicone material. It's a lot harder. And then put the head on, but that's simply not good enough. Take the head, you see that magnet sticks out, you can kind of fit into the slot there, just sort of twist it on there as best you can, push hard, don't be too scared. And it looks a whole lot better. Okay, I swear I'm going to shut up about this cape after this point, but Mezco should have creased the cape in certain points so you can lay it flat. A lot of my other Mezco figures are done like that. They have sort of a pre-creased area so you can fold the cape over and it falls very nice on the heroes. This one just keeps popping back out. Now let's look at his gauntlet zipline or grapnel launcher. He used this in the movie in the museum, pointed it right at the Joker's face. Made you think he's going to shoot the Joker. And these two pieces, which are articulated, went to the sides, shot a rope in either direction, and made a zipline that he went across. This is going to attach to his wrist. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know if this is sort of an attachment that goes to the top. I remember him using something like this on his wrist near the end of the film, and something black and flat came out, blocked one of the thugs from kicking him. That's about the only accessory I don't see that came with this figure. But boy, this thing is cool. Sculpt is good. Feels a little fragile. Just be careful with it. Articulation is very nice. I think that's a really cool effect. Only thing that would be cooler is if you could actually run a rope through here and actually zipline this Batman with this thing. Here's Batman pointing this thing right at you. And just like in the movie, it splits apart. Now let's look at his batarangs. He has 4 of them. Well, 5 if you count the one with the rope on it. It's that traditional 1989 style batarang. Black batarang, got some silver tips there. Sculpt and detail, very unique to that film. I like it. Here's Batman holding and getting ready to throw his batarang. He's a little bit limited in the posing because no neck articulation, which is quite accurate to the film. He also has other batarang. This one is the exact same batarang, but it's got a metal bendy wire attached to it. Pretty cool. You can take any sort of pose you want. This could be very useful for certain things. Here's Batman holding that batarang and rope. Now let's look at his spear gun. We have both the regular spear gun on the left and his collapsed spear gun on the right. There's a hook, as well as a hook with a bendy wire rope attached to it that can attach to his spear gun. In the film, he uses a spear gun as his grapple launcher, and I believe it would collapse and attach onto his belt. I think that's what he had Vicky Vale grab in that part where he grappled with her. It looks pretty good. Nice sculpting, and has a little hole at the front to attach the hook. Here's Batman holding that spear gun. Here it is, with the hook attached. And here he is, with the spear gun, and the hook with the bendy wire, as if he just fired his grapple. And his next accessory, this is some kind of small little microphone thing. In the film, he pulled this out and said stop. The Batmobile stopped right in front of him. Here's Batman holding that microphone. It even has a small bat symbol on the outside there. Next, we have this weird little thing here, and my best guess is it's just a glass vial that he throws on the floor, shatters, and smoke comes out. Use that at least twice in the film. I don't know. If it's something else, please let me know. That's just my best guess. Even at the Mezco website, all these accessories are simply not named. Here's Batman holding and getting ready to drop that glass vial on the ground. Smoke will appear and he'll grapple out and make his escape. Now we have this ninja star, or throwing star. I believe this is from a deleted scene in the film. Batman never actually used in the film, but I've seen a ton of different merchandise and action figures that come with this over the years. Pretty small. Little throwing star. And here's Batman, holding that thing. And here's his final accessory. This is about the only one that I really can't pin down what it is. By process of elimination, based off the Mezco website, it said he came with a time bomb. It's gotta be what this thing is, because none of the other accessories match that. But I sure don't remember using this. I think, well, when it was the Batmobile, bomb Joker's base, maybe it was the detonator used for that. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just sort of a bomb. But like I said, I don't really remember him ever using something like this in the film. Closest thing I think of is when the Batmobile bombed the Joker hideout. Let me know if you guys know what this thing is, or when he used it. I'm just drawing a total blank here. And here he is, holding that bomb, question mark. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 6.4 inches tall, which can translate to just over 16 centimeters. And if you go to the top of the ears, about 6.8 inches tall. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here. And this is a standard head. We already looked at the head with the articulated eyes. Now, yeah, you can move the whole piece a little bit from side to side, but it's not really intended to be moved. So he essentially cannot turn his head from side to side. But that's just like in the film. Michael Keaton's suit was very restricting. He had to turn his whole body to look from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes up more than 90 degrees. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. You do want to take it easy, not push it to the max. Be gentle on his outer layer here. It's got rotation at the bicep. Looks like rotation at the elbow too. Looks like it's more than a single jointed elbow. Goes in pretty far. His wrist can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. His torso here. He's got some sort of ball joint here. Forward and back. Rotate around. Another ball joint in his waist area. Hell, there might even be 3 in here. I can't quite tell. Now in the film, this is one stiff piece of armor, but the figure is able to move a little bit more than that. You can rotate him around, tilt him from side to side. Overall, pretty impressive range of motion there. Legs. They pretty much do the splits. They go forward. I don't know. About that much, maybe a little bit more. Back, not too much. They can go out a pretty good amount. Knees, double jointed, go back pretty far. Boot cut. His ankle, forward and back. Tilt rock. Rotation. Here's Batman doing research in the Batcave while Alfred is serving him tea. And here's Batman taking out that thug on the roof of the building, just like at the beginning of the film. Oh, don't kill me, man. Don't kill me. I'm not going to kill you, but I want you to tell your friends about me. What are you, man? What are you? I'm Batman. Here's Batman in front of the Batmobile with the bat signal going on behind him. Here's Batman in Ace Chemicals using a spear gun to take down some gangsters. Here's Batman confronting Joker in the art museum, about to zipline away. Here's the Batwing crashed into the streets of Gotham. A blooded up Batman exiting, heading toward the church. And a closer look at Batman with the Batwing on fire behind him. Now let's check them out next to some other action figures. Starting off with some other 1989 Batman figures. Here he is, next to the 1989 Michael Keaton NECA Batman figure. This is my favorite Michael Keaton Batman figure out there. 7-inch scale. Looks great. I mean, the Mezco one has a lot of awesome things going for him, but it's just a very complicated figure. Hate to say it. The NECA one is still going to be my go-to Michael Keaton Batman. Look forward to seeing McFarlane's releases. They're coming out real soon. But they're not doing the classic 89 suit. I hope they do in the future. NECA made 3 different varieties of this 1989 Batman. We have one for the movie, one from the Nintendo game, and one for the Dark Knight Collection, Tech Shield Batman throwback homage. And here he is, next to the SH Figure Arts version. Softer sculpt, way too small. Now, nobody really makes a lot of 1989 6 and 7-inch scale merchandise. Beyond the NECA and SH Figure Arts versions, this Mezco is the only other one. Here he is, next to a Mattel DC Multiverse Michael Go Alfred. And nobody makes a Jack Nicholson Joker. His likeness is just too expensive. This is the closest thing we have in 6 and 7-inch scale. The Toy Biz throwback Mattel Joker. I know, some of you out there are probably thinking, what about the Beast Kingdom Michael Keaton Batman and Jack Nicholson Joker? I just can't get behind 8-inch scale figures. My collection is 6 and 7-inch scale. Here he is, next to the Mattel DC Universe Classics Series 10 all-black Batman. This is an homage to the 1989 Batman, done in DC Universe Classic style. Then, next to a Mattel DC Multiverse, Toy Biz throwback, homage 1989 Batman, based off the old figure. And now, next to the Mezco 112 Collective, Sovereign Knight, Onyx Batman. This is definitely a Michael Keaton homage. And here, next to Mattel DC Multiverse, Val Kilmer Batman. Val Kilmer technically was continuing the role Michael Keaton played in Batman and Batman Returns. Different actor, same character, same universe, natural progression of the suit. Now let's talk about Next to some other Mezco 112 Collective figures. Here he is, next to the 4 variations of the Dark Knight Returns Batman figures that I have. And here, next to 4 different versions of the Ben Affleck Batman for the DC Cinematic Universe, Mezco 112 Collective. Mezco has now made 2 different live-action incarnations of Batman, Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck. They have a Robert Pattinson Batman coming up in the future, and they probably should do an Adam West and Christian Bale just to even him out. Here he is, next to all 3 versions of the Ascending Knight Batman, then with all 4 variations of the Sovereign Knight Batman, and now with all 4 variations of the Supreme Knight Batman. And here he is, next to both versions of Mezco's Golden Age Batman, and here with Mezco's Batman Beyond Batman, then next to some Mezco Batman villains, and with a couple more Mezco Batman villains, and a couple of other random Mezco figures, and then next to even more DC Mezco figures, and here with some Mezco female figures, and here next to Mezco's Alien and Predator. Now let's check him out next to some action figures from different various companies to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a Mezco figure, they're typically the 6-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of these smaller action figure lines I collect, and work my larger, and I'm going to include as many Batman figures as I can during these comparisons. Here he is, next to some Jazzworks Fortnite figures, and here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts Batman figures. Here he is, next to a can of WD-40, then with some Hasbro Marvel Legends, and here he is, next to some Mafex Batman figures, then with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse Batman figures, and now next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers, then with some Mattel wrestling figures, and here he is, standing with some NECA Batman figures, then next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles Batman figures, and here next to some McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman figures, and here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys, and finally next to some Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. So overall, it's a nice figure. He looks absolutely amazing, but he has a bunch of flaws. The accessories are phenomenal, out of this world, fantastic. The capes look great, but they don't function that good. They just keep being puffed out. My SH Figure Arts Batman has the same issue. I had a lot of problems with the head, neck area. The magnet got ripped out that holds in the bottom. Had to super glue that thing back in. Having a hard time with some of the articulation, just not quite doing what it's supposed to do. The cape, the one without the wire, is really hard to fit around that hard plastic ring where his neck is. It's just a very sort of complicated figure. Some of the things you have to do are really hard to achieve, like putting the cowl all the way down, attaching the cape properly, getting the cape to do what you want it to do. That being said, he's still a Red Knife Batman figure. He looks absolutely amazing. He's the best looking 6 and 7 inch Michael Keaton Batman that I have, that is for sure. But I'll probably just pull up my NECA Batman when I need one for quick photography or usage. Then again, that one's 7 inch scale, this one's 6.5 inch scale. SH Figure Arts is a smaller of 6 inch scale. So I've got Michael Keaton covered on all 6 and 7 inch scales. If I had to rate this guy, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10, even though I'm kind of tempted to go a little bit lower. There's definitely some frustrating aspects about this figure. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.